Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into another fabulous live stream. It is Thursday today, Thursday 9/4, 12:03, my bad for being a couple minutes late. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit unique. Something that I have not actually talked about in depth to this extent on the channel before. That is the robotics industry. Yes, you heard me correctly. One of my favorite things to do as an investor is find early industries that are still in their questionable phase of growth, where they're still trying to prove themselves. Industries that I think have a very bright future that still have not completely hit that early majority phase. We're in that very beginning stage of stuff, aka decentralized science. Still has not 100% proven itself, hence why I'm such a big fan of it, because I think it is gonna end up proving itself correct. Quantum computing still has a lot of questions, a lot of things that don't make sense to people, hence why I really like it. Artificial intelligence. I was a big investor in things like Palantir a couple years ago. I really liked it. I thought it was a good opportunity, and that ended up being correct. Tesla, whatever, name your stuff. I really am a fan of finding early industries. I think robotics is an early industry. Now, a lot of stuff has already been proven. Robotics are very widespread. And today we're just gonna go through the whole market structure and where I see the market going in the near term. And we're gonna get into several different crypto projects that are working on robotics right now that I've put money into and I've made a good chunk on. Now, I called one of them out in the Discord because that's where I put a lot of my trades. If we go to trade history and scroll up a little bit, I'll show you guys right here. We have this one here. It is a micro cap, so it was $1.2 million when I was buying my bags of it. It is no longer $1.2 million because it's been going up in a straight line the last couple of days. Let's go. Robots. I think it's robots. Or just robot. Yeah, robot by virtual. It's now a $2 million market cap, so it has effectively doubled since I've been scooping my bags. It's pretty good. I think it's really solid, and yeah, that's what today's topic's gonna be. So if you guys enjoy this type of content, please do hit the thumbs up on the live stream. We go live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good morning, Beagle. Good morning, C90. What's going on, Zaj? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Currently speaking, Bitcoin, it's not looking beautiful. I have to say it, all right? I don't want to be this guy. I don't. But we just got rejected by the 100-day moving average. We are now below the 100-day moving average, the 50-day moving average, the 20-day moving average. We are at the bottom of the channel that we have been in for the entirety of this bull market, and it looks like we may get a push down to the 200-day moving average on Bitcoin. Not guaranteed, obviously. We have broken below the channel in the past and not marked the end of the bull run and continued higher. It's just kind of little liquidation events, right? We wick out here and there. We had a period here for a while at the start of the bull market that we consolidated out of the channel, but it is just not a spot that I feel super excited for Bitcoin's price action in the coming days. Looks like we might be getting more either consolidation or pullback, when what I was hoping for was a straight skyrocket back up above all of the moving averages. That is not what we're getting. Same story here on Ethereum, where it looks like we're going to be getting some more of a larger pullback. It looked like yesterday it was going to try and be above, but then it got rejected and came straight back down, and it gave up all the gains from yesterday. We could just consolidate for a little bit longer here and then go higher, but I have a feeling because of how aggressive it rallied back here, that will probably get a little bit of a bleed for a period of time here as it comes down and potentially touches the 100-day moving average. Obviously, nobody knows for sure. I'm just throwing out my opinions here. I do not like having a bearish undertones to what I'm saying. That is not what I like being. I like being the permabull. That's where I make the most money, and that's what I enjoy doing. But I cannot deny the elephant in the room. And the elephant is that this does not look crazy bullish right now. Things could switch very quickly, and I hope they do, but I'm just here to report on everything. Longevity supplements are the old way. Organ transplants are the way now. You heard that conversation between Putin and Xi Jinping, right? That's his name. President of China and president of Russia, talking about longevity, literally saying, hey, you know, you could just like get the organs from a young person and go ahead and put them into us, and then we'll live forever. By the time those organs die out, we'll just get new ones and keep going, you know? Good morning, Steve the Canadian. Crazy to see world leaders like that talking about longevity and having them be mic'd up. I do not see an elephant. Well, you got me there. You got me. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it. So this post here from Simon is what sparked this live stream topic today. I've done several weeks of research now on the robotics industry, and I've found that there are a lot of robots that are being used across the United States, across the world right now in industry. Now, most of them, none of them really are humanoid. I think a couple thousand, maybe a couple tens of thousands of robots have been humanoid robots. But what we see across industry are hyper-specific robots. Think about iRobot with that vacuum in your house that you might have that goes around and vacuums the ground. That's a robot, right? The lawnmower that some people have that just cuts their lawn for them, that's a robot. Amazon fired, I forget how many people they fired, but they replaced them all with robots in the factory to just, in their warehouses, to just grab the package and just, it's literally just on a set track basically, and it just skirts the package over to where it needs to go, puts it down, and goes back, grabs another package, and then goes around the warehouse, right? So they're replacing people with these robots. And I think that that is going to be the trend moving forward, especially as AI gets better and better and better. You can actually get these robots to do more intricate things. So I want to just set the tone before we get into all of this, that while the humanoid robots is really fun to think about, they're really cute little guys, almost kind of terrifying, laser mouth, but it's just a camera. They're pretty terrifying, to be honest, but there's a lot of potential with the humanoid robots, and that's what's grabbing a lot of people's attention. People are making a shit ton of money already off of just specialized robots, right? And I wanted to get into it because Simon here posted 3 robotics plays that he views as super interesting. I got in on this one. He's the one who pointed it out to me, was RoboStack, this one that I'm talking about here. He's the one who called it out to me, and then I told you guys in the Discord, and it seems to be going pretty decent so far. So I just wanted to share it with you guys because I think it is a very good opportunity. They're taking our jobs. God damn it. They better take our jobs. Those physical exhaustion jobs, they better take them. It's the natural progression, guys. Let me take a sip of water. Little guy coming to kill me. That's why you gotta be nice to them. You gotta be nice to them. Not because they're gonna come kill you, but because it's good for your soul to be nice. All right, so Simon here says, Alpha, liquid robotics gems hardly anyone has on their radar. I've spoken often about how bullish I am on robotics, but I simply can't stress this enough. Robotics isn't just another vertical, it's a major secular growth trend that will likely be one of the most fascinating and asymmetric opportunities of the coming decades. Completely agree. Completely agree. Just like artificial intelligence, right? AI is the software version, robotics is the hardware version. But here's the problem. How do you get exposure when it's nearly impossible? All the prestigious deals, Apptronic, Unitree, etc. are locked up into institutional circle jerks. Public market bets exist, but they're mostly unattractive or overpriced beta plays, aka the suppliers, Tesla, etc. A lot of people play Nvidia for robotics because they make a lot of the chips and the semiconductors and such, right? Not really that great. It's a very crowded trade. Tesla is a robotics company. Yes, it is still. After going nowhere for 4.5 years, it is still arguably overpriced. After literally, you could have bought Tesla back here at the peak. I know I'm cherry picking data points, but you could have bought Tesla 1,600 days ago and only been up 15%, you know? So the chart still looks good and it looks like it's about to break out low key, but it's been a rough time for stuff like this because it got overcrowded. Eventually though, we're crypto degens, and we all know what's going to happen sooner or later. Robotics will find its way on chain, becoming a liquid and hyper financialized opportunity to bet on. The crypto x robotics space is still an opaque and abstract niche, but we believe this is exactly where the asymmetry lies. Actually, it reminds me a lot of the early DeSci days when hardly anyone paid attention to it. That's why we did the work. Dove deep and identified some liquid robotics opportunities trading at ridiculous valuations that with very solid teams behind them. Here are 3 projects we're excited about. We have RoboStack. Go ahead and open this link in a new tab. Ticker Robot. And this is the one that I told you guys about, right? We'll get into it. And this live stream, unless any of you guys can ask questions as much as you want, I'm going to be doing research live with you guys. So just like we used to in the old days, 2 years ago, where I would go live and do research with you guys in the Discord. I don't know how many of you guys remember that. Let me get some ones in the chat if you guys remember those days. If Johnny's here, he'll remember them. He enjoyed those. That we were hitting home run after home run after home run when we were doing that. So I want to get back to it because I think it's a really good opportunity and keeps the brain sharp, looking for good opportunities rather than getting sucked into the next pigeon launch. You know what I mean? That stuff never ends up doing really well for me. It's fun and I'll gamble on it, but this is the kind of stuff that grows your portfolio over the long term versus just trying to get quick speculative bets. So we'll look into RoboStack. Founded by a Cambridge PhD, RoboStack is building a cloud platform for robot simulation training. Think of it as a physics-based environment where devs can simulate and test AI-driven robotics. Gorgeous. At its core is RCP, a communication protocol acting as a universal language across systems. The simulation environment will include a tokenized voting and incentivization mechanism to foster competition among devs and enthusiasts. You can see right here the RCP. You got robot clusters in the cloud, robot clusters. You have the adaptive layer where you get HTTP requests, agent-to-agent conversations, and MCPs for LLMs. So you guys are probably fairly familiar with all of this, but you got the users, which can go through a service, or an agent is the user, or the LLM itself is the user. The LLM talks to the MCP server, which then goes through the cloud server to do the training on the robotics infrastructure, you know? Bullish. 0.5, I came right as those ended. I love it, C90. Well, you lasted long enough to see him circle back around. What's good, Derek? What's good, Solus with the LSD? Down low, I've been asking Grok and GPT using please and thank you, shooing to be prepared. I mean, yeah. I say thank you. I say please. I ask it to do things. I don't just demand it. It feels rude. I don't care if it's alive or not. It feels rude, you know? All right, next one up. What's up, peeps? Fashionably late as usual. Yes, you are. Sola says, different topic. Have you thought about contacting David Olson about JRT compound extract from to cure psychotic illnesses? Rebalancing neuropathic chemicals would be an amazing protocol building off of it. I've not, Solus. I don't know. I don't even know that I know who David Olson is. Sorry. Not sorry. Okay, next one up. And I've not researched into this one at all. I've only researched into the first one. Next up, we have Homebrew Robots, ticker Brew, $3 million market cap. Homebrew is positioning itself as the app store for robotics. Imagine buying a pre-trained, pre-programmed robot movements like the banana peeling demo and applying them to your hardware. Their focus is shifting towards the app layer with the gamified Battle Royale mode where the community can interact and control robots directly. Long term, they could evolve into the Hugging Face for robotic motion, a marketplace used by hobbyists and professionals alike. They're already seeing strong interest from engineers outside the crypto bubble. That is bullish AF. Comparing them to the Hugging Face for robotics is insanely bullish. Genuinely insanely bullish. Let's go check out the ticker brew. Oh, look at that cute little brew. It's on Sol, so has a good chance to pump like crazy. 6 months ago, liquidity is very high. Let's go to the daily. Okay. So it had the initial pump and dump, the pop, drop, and lock it phase. Now it looks like it's coming back to life a little bit. It is not as gorgeous as I would have liked. It's definitely back on the come down, but being so cheap, who cares, you know? Being so cheap, if this is something that's really going to end up playing out the long term, this is a multi-billion-dollar opportunity, you know? We'll see. We're going to do research into it and we'll figure out how we view the opportunity here. For now, we're going to go look at number 3, which is Show Robotics. Ticker Show. Let's go look at Show before we get really into this one. I bet this is not going to show up. Pun intended. Is this it? 2.7 FDV. Is it by virtuals again? Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, that was it. Welcome back, Terrico. Welcome back. I shared the link for it in the TG vid from 2 years ago. Did my computer just freeze? It looks like everything just froze. All right, the live stream did not freeze, but everything else froze. Okay, here we go. This one looks a lot better. So this had the pop, drop, and lock it, and then it's popping, and see how it has kind of reversed here? Whereas the last one had not yet reversed, this one looks like it has reversed, and it looks like it's starting to continue that uptrend. So I like it. I think we'll make a watch list and probably save them to the robotics plays. For now, we'll go back and read about Show Robotics. $2.7 million FDV. Show Robotics is building collective, creating both hardware and software. Show Robotics is a builder, collective creating both hardware and software to bring robotics to life. They're building their own robot characters, developing intelligence, their own LLMs for commands, VLAs, etc., and sharing their progress transparently in a public logbook. Their goal: enable anyone to create personal embodied AI, a robot with memory, awareness, and personality. So basically we could put Bill into a robot through this maybe. That'd be sick. That'd be so cool. I love that one a lot, actually. That's really cool. Be able to make little mascots for companies, potentially. That'd be crazy. Seems like a less of an opportunity, but more memeable. You know what I mean? Like, I would rather get into a app store for robotics than the creation of little personalized robots, but I feel like this one's gonna draw in a lot of fun attention to it. Of course, there are other strong plays like Peak, Silencio Network, OVR, The Realty, etc., all providing direct or indirect robotic exposure, but I've kept this list of 3 on purpose because they fall squarely into the high risk, high reward bucket. Keep in mind, we've accumulated liquid positions in all of these on the open market, doing our own DD in the game or STFU. It would be funny if you noticed how all of them had kind of like pumped and then dumped and then pumped. It'd be funny if it was literally just Moonrock here accumulating like 10-15% of them, you know what I mean? That'd be so funny. That would actually be crazy if it was the case. They all kind of have the same little pump at the same time. August 5th. August 5th started moving again, somewhere around there. Yo, I think it might have low-key been them. Yeah, that's them. That's funny. Good morning, grannies. Good morning. I'm going to take a pause to sip from my water. Not sponsored, although it should be. Okay. And then I had been asking ChatGPT here to help me come up with a bullish thesis for you all in order to kind of see the total addressable market and where things are likely headed moving into the remainder of this decade. So we can absolutely get into it if you want to, or I can kind of test the room, see what you guys think. Should we deep dive into those 3 plays from Simon, or should we get into kind of the market opportunity and the subsector map? You can see the headline takeaways, the subsector maps of robotics, the growth signal and high level numbers, the leading public companies, the leading private companies, and risks and red flags. There's a lot more too that we talked about with a bunch of different pitch books and stuff, or pitch decks that ChatGPT was able to find, but up to you guys. We'll circle back to this point in the live stream on a rewind. Gotta bounce to suit up for an interview today. Thanks for the live. Let's go, C90. W. Everyone wish C90 good luck on his interview. Good luck. Good luck. Go get that stable reoccurring revenue. You got this. Just remember, nobody knows. Gotta remember, put the fries in the bag. Oh God. You're right. Nobody knows what you do know and don't know, so just make it up. You can always ask ChatGPT later. Okay, so here we go. I'm actually kind of curious. I'll read through some of these headliners first so that everyone kind of sees where the market looks like it's headed. So robotics is moving from pilots to scaled deployments. Industrial orders and revenues are up in 2025. VCs continue to fund high growth niches, humanoids, warehouse AMRs, robotics foundation models. Capital is shifting more dollars towards software, robotic foundation models, and dexterous humanoid platforms, even as traditional industrial automation remains the cash engine. So basically, you know how Ford has the assembly line, Tesla has the assembly line, that it's all robotics just making the cars, right? That is what generally has been producing all the cash for everyone, but people are getting excited about the humanoids and the software to make more complex robotic systems. Robotics is not really new, it's just kind of going through its massive growth phase here, or at least it seems. Wear a tuxedo. Good luck and know your worth. $1 million a year, exactly. $1 million. Yo, MG, welcome in, Yeti. Happy to have you in the live stream. Been a minute since we've seen you here, but welcome back. Welcome. And then as far as the subsector map, so if you want it, because robotics is not like a new industry, it's something that's been around for quite some time. It's just really starting to hit that growth phase. You want to dive deeper into the subsectors within robotics because, like I said, you have things like the assembly line for Tesla, and then you have things like the humanoid robotics and everything, right? And the chip makers and the AI that goes into them and the software and blah, 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 blah. You can go down and get real deep into it. Currently in the USA, let's go for your yearly US vacation. I'd love to see it. Celebrity in the chat, let's go. Okay, so there's industrial automation, aka factory robots, cobots, and motion control. Near-term cash flow, adoption driven by reshoring and auto OEM cycles, and watch margins as system integrators. Then there is the warehouse and fulfillment. You have AMRs, goods to person systems, automation integrations. So that one's pretty fun. So that's going to be like Amazon, right? If you can figure out if Amazon is building those drones to deliver packages or if they are receiving them from another company, I bet they're probably receiving them from another company and just outsourcing that part of it. I could be mistaken. I have not looked into it, but we should look into it. Then you get medical and surgical robots. This is one that I think is going to be super advantageous moving forward. It doesn't really make sense to have humans cutting open people, but I don't think we're going to see that adoption for a long time just because of how perfect these robots are going to have to be. I know there already are a lot of surgeries that are conducted by robots and stuff, but I'm just saying. High ASPs, regulatory risk, but sticky reoccurring revenues, consumables, procedure, attach rates, etc. Let's go, Wild Africa. Let's go. Humanoids. This is the one that's going to grab most of the attention. Speculative, but heavily funded. Training data, control stacks are bottlenecks. Investors betting on long-term platform adoption. This is like the ChatGPT moment for robotics, probably. Seems to be where most of the money is flowing. Maybe I must be missing something about it because I just don't see how it's going to be such a crazy opportunity. I really do feel like things like warehouse fulfillment or medical are going to be crazy profitable compared to humanoids being more of just like a luxury good item. Autonomy and defense, drones, unmanned systems, autonomy stacks, governments and enterprise pockets, and durable spending, consolidation likely. That's going to be super, obviously this is going to be super concentrated to government spending. And so you're going to need to watch for things that are going to be receiving grants like Palantir was as well. It doesn't mean that you can't make a crap ton of money on it. Palantir was almost 100% focused on government spending and grants from the government and stuff. And then all of a sudden they weren't, and it went crazy. Software and AI, of course, you guys understand that one. And then semiconductor and sensors. You can go all the way down to the bare bones and understand that likely NVIDIA is going to be producing a lot of the hardware chips for the robotics. So rather than trying to guess and bet on what robotics company is going to make the most money, you just go in and buy up a bunch of NVIDIA and hope that they all use NVIDIA to get their chips. And then the growth numbers and everything, why people should be excited about robotics. I think it's fun, but I can tell that you guys are being put to sleep. So maybe I will keep these types of live streams for when we're in small groups. Private. We'll keep them private and we'll just stick to hyping everything up here. I do want to go through these 3 cryptos still though. So whoever's here with us, you get to sit and watch me do some quick due diligence on those 3. Again, I want to check in on the market here. That was Tesla. I want to check in and see how the market is functioning. It doesn't look good, guys. I hate to be, it's just not fun. I don't want to be the person who's saying things are going down, but like you look at any of these charts and you tell me that you're not bearish on them and you're just lying to yourself. You're just lying. You're going to look at this and say Ethereum's like, this is a great time to purchase Ethereum. Sure, it could just bounce right here. Like it has several times, but it's not a guaranteed. I would love it to, but I'd flip bullish on it after it's kind of crossed over the moving averages and showing that it's going up again. Right now, it looks like it's going down. I don't know how I ended up drawing an arrow still on that. I lie to myself every day. God damn it, Derico. You look at total crypto market cap. We talked about this yesterday and everyone seemed to really love it, but the total crypto market cap, as of today, if we close down at these levels, we are below the trend line. We are below the channel that we've been in this section of the bull market since back in March and April. It doesn't mean it has to be done. It could just be coming down to test the moving average down here, which is probably what we're doing, but it just sucks. I don't want to sit through all of it. I want us to just go up. Why can't we just go up? God damn it. Okay, let's go ahead and do a little bit of our due diligence. Let's dive into some of the robotics. So back in June, RCP is now officially published. June 14th, RoboStack is syncing sensors to semantics. Their new protocol, RCP, makes robots legible to intelligent systems. Proud to see them build layer by layer in the Virtuals protocol. They're saying thank you to Simon Industry will explode and we are here to pioneer. More details to be released soon. I heard they were supposed to be launching something this week. Update on August 26th, so a few days ago. Based on community feedback, we have redesigned SimLords to display the current amount of staked robot and sorted the models based on voting results. Next up, we will update Stack Hub this week. That's cool. All right, let's go to their website. robostack.io. Simulate and automate. Develop and test intelligent robots in the cloud. Accelerate deployment in realistic virtual worlds. This is a cool little design that they got going on here. Can you interact with it? No. Cloud robots. Open new power. AI-powered robot simulation. You can't click on it. Cloud-powered robotics. Everything you need to build and deploy intelligent robots in the cloud. 100% cloud native, secure cloud sandbox, lightning fast, comprehensive monitoring. Track every aspect of your robot's performance with real-time metrics, logs, and detailed analysis. Team collaboration. Work together seamlessly with your teams. We already went through this picture here. Cloud-based physical simulation. So simulating a real world environment. Development sandbox, they already wrote all those things, but are these clickable links? No. Build the future of robots. It looks like you can download their virtual world to run locally potentially. We'll go to docs. We'll go here. Oh, I have to log in. Let's see if I can make an account real quick. Okay. Made the account. Dashboard. Welcome to RoboCloud, your intelligent robot development platform. Bullish. Verify your email for 10 credits. Connect your Twitter for 10 credits. What's Twitter? What's Twitter? You guys know what Twitter is? I mean, I'm aware of X, formerly Twitter, but I don't know what Twitter is. Connect your wallet for 10 extra credits. You get models, total model 0, robot 0, building 0, projects, total project 0, active simulation 0. This is all mine though, so I don't know why I'm reading the 0. I will say that this, just my gut speaking out loud to everyone, this whole industry is going to be about grabbing market share and who can grab market share the quickest, because this is not going to be a difficult thing to recreate. You know what I mean? It's going to be fairly easy for an educated dev or dev team to come in and create a virtual environment that you can run simulations like this with robotics. I don't know how to do it, but it's not something that's going to be super difficult to recreate, I imagine. Especially, I'm sure you can find some open source stuff. Go find some Minecraft worlds to... Not actually, but you guys know what I'm saying. With that being said, it's all about market share and public perception. So you can create your own robot here. I don't have any credits, so I don't have the ability to do it right now, but that would be fun to play around with. Building. Describe what you want to generate. Different categories use different engine for generation. Currently, only robot is available. Other categories will be supported in the future. Nice. Visibility, public versus private. It does not change the cost. 3 minutes to generate. I'm assuming you're generating a robot here. The SimLords. 2 months ago, 122 participants. Total robot staked, 1.5 million. Top voters is Robo King. So you get to vote on the robot simulation, it looks like. Let's see what this is. The extensive use of elements such as brass, gear, and glass. These details are elaborate and full of a mechanical feel. This is a robot with grappler ass. Is this all just looks? Okay, kind of silly. I don't get the point of that. Token Donna has launched. Yes, it has. Yes, they have. It launched and it absolutely tanked. Did you see the Goldman asks job revision chart? Goldman Sachs job revision chart, they say 550K to 950K jobs will be lost. God damn. I mean, yeah, the job numbers came out today and they were dismal. They were so bad. Or they weren't necessarily awful in and of themselves, but for the first time, I think, since the pandemic, we now have less job openings than unemployed people, which isn't bad. That's how the economy usually is, but I think it's freaking people out a bit. Okay, so they have a data platform, the agent integration and automatic workflows. It's cool they have a marketplace already. I think it's a good one. I think it's got a lot of potential and we'll see. Obviously more research is needed, but I'm live at just kind of going through, giving you guys an overview picture. Their roadmap, I don't know where the roadmap is though. Oh, there it is. Build core simulation engine, RCP specs, SDK, and demo MCP adapter for demo robot. By the end of phase 1, we aim to provide a robust foundation for cloud-native robotic simulations, enabling developers to build, test, and iterate on their designs in a safe and effective virtual environment. This will set the stage for the expansion and integration phase to follow. So this is the one that they should be finishing up right now. Early access to RoboStack Cloud, support Cloud Robot Livestream, that'd be cool. And support ROS, Robot Operating System 2. And then they should be working on this next quarter. Public access for RoboStack Cloud, A2A adapter for agents, and HTTP adapter for services. So there should be this coming out this quarter with some pretty open access features, right? People should be able to go in and test everything. So I'd love to see that. We'll save these two for another moment or two here because I want to get back and show the prima donna live. Also, hold on, pause, wait a minute. Did you guys see the real Donald Trump posted this on X? Did you guys see this? It's literally someone saying, it's not, I mean, it's not even just someone, it's, who is this guy? Senator Adam Schiff literally saying, if you go against the president, we will bring down the full weight of the federal government on you. Like, bruh, if this wasn't so funny, I would be terrified right now. That is the most terrifying thing I've heard a government say to its people. I mean, maybe not the most terrifying thing, but goddamn. Why did Trump post a video of him with an elongated neck? Literally threatening the entirety of the United States, the entirety of the world, literally threatening them. If you go against Donald Trump, you're basically gonna be suicidal. That's nuts. That should lock in rate cuts, but would be our blow off top end of cycle. Just a feeling I have. I mean, yeah, absolutely. If the job market goes to shit, then it's the end of the cycle. There is nothing you can do about that. If the job market goes to shit, it's the end of the cycle. All right, and if they cut rates because the job market's going to shit, it's probably the end of the cycle. We've been saying that for I don't even know how long. The writing is on the walls. Let's go to Ben because we'll see the current data. So the initial claims, and MK, if you have a link to the Goldman Sachs job revision chart, I would really appreciate sending it. That would be awesome, so I don't have to go looking for it. But initial claims, actual unemployment was 237. Estimate was 230, and the prior was 229. So it came in marginally worse than what they were expecting, like 3% worse than what they were expecting, which is not that bad, but it did come in worse than expected. And for another month in a row, it came in worse than the previous month. If you go look a little bit more, job openings here, we have the actual at 7.18 million. Estimated was 7.4. Prior was 7.437. Less people want to hire. We just don't have as much. Less and less people are hiring. And a big part of that is, you ready to see the full picture? AI and robotics. A big part of it is artificial intelligence and robotics. Literally, we saw Amazon lays off workers. Oh my God. Yes, Amazon has laid off workers and plans for future workforce reductions, which are partially tied to the increasing automation from robotics and AI technology. So, yeah, Amazon deployed 750,000 robots across their network. This was since Amazon Robotics was founded in 2012. Here it is. Here's what I'm talking about. This was back in 2022. I swear they already did it though. Look at these stats. Supposedly 75% of Amazon orders are now fulfilled by robots. You know? Like Amazon's already deep into it. Robots causing people to lose their jobs. People are losing their jobs and robots are replacing them. And it's not necessarily going to slow down at all. In fact, it's probably just going to speed up. At the same time, we have companies like Oracle doing layoffs. Oracle layoffs hit Kansas City. Oracle's a giant company, giant tech company. We're seeing, didn't Coinbase just say that like 51, let me see, hold on. He just made a meme about it, and he usually only does memes when it's true, but we'll see. Yeah, about Brian Armstrong, I imagine. Now with Coinbase, now with 51% vibe coding. Their engineers are getting laid off, you know? Less and less people. Let's see Brian Armstrong. I mean, mass leverage, but... yeah, here it is. Brian Armstrong, 40% of daily code written at Coinbase is AI generated. I want to get it to over 50% by October. Obviously, it needs to be reviewed and understood, and not all areas of the business can use AI generated code, but we should be using it responsibly as much as we possibly can. So you have the CEO of a monstrosity of a company, Coinbase, saying that they wants to get 50% or more of the code generated by artificial intelligence this year. And that is not something that's just going to be for Coinbase and Brian Armstrong. Like, mass layoffs are already happening and they're going to continue to happen. And honestly, if we want to talk about potential black swans, which I know gets everyone a little bit excited, so let's just take a second, deep breath. Let's talk about something for a second, okay? The more and more companies base their entire code bases off of artificial intelligence code, right? So AI generated code, the more likely it is that eventually somebody finds like a fatal flaw in AI generated code that nobody's really paying attention to. You know what I mean? Like a security risk where it's just like, oh shit, all of this code or half of this code or even 5% of the code that we've been getting from LLMs has been hallucinations with backdoors and stuff that we didn't properly check for or whatever it looks like, and then someone hacks into it and like shuts down major servers, something like that, you know? I could absolutely see a security risk with the backdoor or something. I don't know enough to know what the black swan would look like, but I'm sure that could probably prompt you guys to think about some things too, right? If major tech companies are using 50% or more artificially generated code, then it's very possible that there are loopholes and stuff that we're just not aware of in the code. And now they're checking it and they're looking for it to prevent that kind of stuff from happening, but we're talking black swans, something that nobody expects, right? I could see that happening. And that is one thing that I would see slowing down the adoption of AI to give us enough time to really make sure we don't go into the dystopian future. So just a little food for thought there. It has the chart, but was posted by someone I know. Bullish. I hope I did it right. Yes, you did. That's perfect. W for DeSci in the dump. We love DeSci. We'll grab this. We'll go C. We'll go here. We will go like this. Paste. Go in. Yeah, anything generated by AI needs to be looked over at the moment. Absolutely. Absolutely. It all needs to. And I'm sure it is, right? It is. It is getting looked at. But we're talking black swans. All right, we're talking black swans. My company is doing the whole use AI LLMs and vibe code too. It's annoying. I mean, but it's profitable. It's real profitable. You go look at what was that company that like somebody made an app for women to go like complain about their husbands and stuff, and then the app was a vibe coded app that then just had like it's some keys in a back door that people could go and see the location of everyone that ever used the app. And it was nuts. It just exploded all over the internet for like 3 days. I forget what it is, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Hopefully, if you were on X at all, you saw it. That kind of thing. Something like that happening, but at a more widespread moment where it's like they vibe coded something, it took over the internet, and then it absolutely capitulated. And all the companies are like, whoa, we need to slow down, make sure that we're doing things correctly because that cannot happen to us. And then profits slow down and whatever happens. But according to Goldman Sachs, a downward revision of up to 950,000 jobs is coming. This would be the biggest downward revision since 2010. Yikes. This will be wild. Okay, let's talk about it for a moment. Bullish. Not bullish, but thank you for the post, MK. I appreciate it. Let's talk about this for a moment because it's important that you guys understand something, all right? During times of economic certainty, we don't get downward revisions. We don't get upward revisions because the data that is collected is super accurate. Okay, does that make sense? I know it does. So when we're in economically good times, there are no revisions to the numbers, or the revisions are minimal because everyone's reporting on time. Everyone's reporting correctly. No one is trying to fake any of the numbers to make them look good, right? The algorithms that are used to predict the numbers because of how archaic the system is to gather the data, the phone surveys, remember we talk about it a lot, but those phone surveys where they just call up companies or mail out a piece of paper to the company and say, please fill this out with how many job openings you have and send it back by 2 weeks from now. And then in economically good times, because those companies are not able to send it back within 2 weeks, or they don't want to take the time to go actually fill it out when they could be working and growing their company. There's a litany of reasons for why this system is archaic and broken. But the point is that during good times, the algorithms that they use to predict what the numbers are going to be when they get the surveys back are accurate. And if you don't know, these revisions happen because the bureaus will go, they'll send out 50,000 envelopes with surveys in them saying, please tell us how many people you are employing right now. And then it goes out to 50,000 businesses across the United States. And then generally like 40% of them will respond on time, right? And then another like 30% of them will respond late, okay? The 40% that responds on time, they take that information and they extrapolate out based off of historic information that they have on file that best matches what they got back as results. And they will extrapolate out what it likely is for the rest of those people that didn't report on time. And then they release the numbers, and then a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, they do end up getting all of those other envelopes and surveys back, and they have to make revisions based off of the actual data that they got, because initially they made up data based off of historical averages. During times of economic certainty and when the economy is good, those estimates, those guesses are pretty accurate because, well, most of the time we're in a good economy. But when we're not in a good economy, those estimates are not accurate anymore, and they end up having to do revisions up or revisions down. Most of the time it's revisions down, obviously that freak people out, but both are bad. Revisions up or revisions down are bad because why? The stock market, the crypto market, equity markets as a whole don't like uncertainty. They want to know that they know what to expect. And so when you revise something, whether it's good revision, bad revision, it freaks people out because they don't know what to expect anymore. And they have to reprice things. And they have to redo all of their calculations. So the markets don't like that. These downward revisions only tend to happen when we're going into recessions or coming out of recessions. Hence, biggest downward revision since 2010. Remember that? The fears of the double dip recession? We had the 2019, back when the repo market and the liquidity crisis was happening with the United States Federal Reserve and everything, and they had to do the overnight repos and they had to cut rates drastically to get it down quickly, and then all of a sudden COVID happened and they printed a crap ton of money and everything went away for a minute. Well, now I think we're getting back into what we were starting to face in 2019. Patrick's bearish. Should I be bullish, or I feel like I should full port now? I mean, full port, do it. Do it. I'm still aggressively exposed to the market. I just don't have leverage, right? I'm not 100% in the market. I have cash in case we dip down and I can scoop up some of my favorite plays again. But yeah, I'm a little bearish. It's scary. The charts don't look good. I don't see how these charts look good to people for the majors. Now, there's tons of altcoins that look great, right? This looks awesome. That looks like a great chart. I'd buy that. I just bought Robot, so it's not like I'm not investing. I just don't want to get blindsided. Done it. Let's go. Full port. Full port. Yeah. I don't know if you guys... Hopefully my rant there for a moment made sense to everyone. You agreed or don't agree. It doesn't really faze me too much. I just hope that I can get some points across to you guys. Number one, markets don't like uncertainty, period. The fear of something is often way worse than the actual thing happening. Right? JK, I'm chilling. I know. I'm also chilling, Derico. I'm also chilling. The fear of things is often way worse than the actual thing happening. So rumors spreading that Goldman Sachs is going to predict a major downward revision, way worse than actually doing the revision most of the time. The fear of a recession, way worse than the actual recession, in the stock market at least, right? In the stock market. Usually by the time the data is at its worst, the bottom is already in. So, and who knows? Things could revise out. Earnings are still at all-time highs. Earnings are still progressing forward as if everything is fine, because right now everything still is, for the most part, fine. Yeah. Okay. You guys have any questions? We were on the same page. Let's go, MK. Good. I had something from HairDAO I was going to showcase to you guys, but I'm not going to do it anymore. They have a lab. HairDAO has a lab in the United States, which is pretty lit. I was going to show you this from Ben Cohen, the number of job openings per unemployed worker, a metric that power of references a lot, just fell below 1, which is good for rate cuts. Rate cuts will be happening, 97.6% certainty that cuts are happening at Wednesday, September 17th, which is 13 days away. I just saw in the DeSci Schiller's Telegram that people are hyped about the Axon pump happening right now. So that's good. Yesterday really did feel like a capitulation moment for Axon. It felt like everyone was really down in the dumps about it. So hopefully that is the end of it. Where's the Axon token? Give me that. Damn. Let's go. Up 54% today on AXGT. It really, like I said, yesterday and the day before, I guess, really felt like capitulation for Axon. It's up 82%. or it was up 82% from the lows here today. Still, let's be realistic though. Still not out of the woods totally yet. Hey. Yeah, I do. Okay, you can say hi. You want me to lower the desk down a little bit?
No, it's fine. Where am I? There I am.
In the top left.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, the dog.
It's okay. They're gonna come say hello.
Yep.
Say hello to Amanda, aka my fiance.
It's so exciting. Hi, everybody.
Show close. Woo!
Woo! It's so exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, just wanted to say hi, everybody, and hope you're having a lot of fun.
We are. I was going over robotics for them.
Okay. Very good.
And for me too. We were doing research.
Very good.
Derico says, "What's up?"
Hi, Derico.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, all right. I'm gonna go into my meeting. But I wanted to say hi.
Congrats. Cool.
Yes. Congrats to us.
Yes.
Thanks, MK.
And
Hi, Granny's Garden. And hi, everybody else that I won't see until later. But
Yeah.
I'll look back. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye. Good luck on your meeting.
Thanks, Sophie.
It's okay. You can leave him here.
Okay.
I had to lower the desk down so that she could see herself in the camera. Now we'll put it back up. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you for being nice. What was I saying? Yeah. Okay. Axon. It's pumping like crazy here today, and I agree. Like, it's criminally undervalued at these prices. If we're being totally honest, I think that it is very underappreciated right now, especially given everything that they're working on. Honestly, they're becoming a very important backbone to DeSci. Any DeSci related companies that no longer want to pay exorbitant prices for simulations and stuff can come and use their CLU, their network like AWS. They're working with some of the best chip manufacturers in the world to create custom built data servers to run simulated experiments with, just like what we were talking about with Robot here, right? The same type of thing, but for biotech. Gorgeous opportunity. And that's not it. They also have CureOS. They also are DAO funding many other experiments with their voice AI and a lot of cool things. Either way, the token has been going in the gutter because of, hypothetically, because someone has been selling off like crazy as they exit the company out of spite for the people associated. Well, like you said there, Derico, Chris is fired up. He is not going to let Chris has been working on Axon for a decade. He is not about to let someone come in and try and ruin his reputation, ruin his company right as they finish some crazy cool things that they haven't announced yet, but have been leaking little bits of. Some of the craziest things I've seen in DeSci. And honestly, very excited to have mended now that the person who kind of ruined my reputation with Axon is out of the company. I'm pretty excited to be back, being able to work with and get involved with Axon again, because ultimately, when Chris first reached out to me back, I don't even know, but back in 2023, when Chris and I first started talking to each other and he told me he wanted to launch a DeSci project and explained his vision, I was like, holy shit, this is gorgeous. And thank you so much for reaching out to me and asking for me to get involved and for me to help, because that was like my first breakthrough in the space. That was my first like stamp of approval or credibility with helping a real project get to market. And then to see everything go to shit really hurt, really hated it. And so I'm just happy that I can be back involved again and do what I do best to help out as much as I can and get Axon put on the map. Like, not just within DeSci, but I'm talking like, I'm not going to talk. I'm just going to show. I'm going to show you guys as it happens what I'm going to do to help make sure that Axon is the best version that it can possibly be. So let them tank the price, get in on the dip, get in at these disgustingly discounted prices, let them tank it, let them send it down as low as they want to send it, It doesn't matter. Zoom out 3 to 5 years, which is what my investment horizon is. When I put money into stuff, it's 3 to 5 years out. Zoom out 3 to 5 years, this company is in a completely different place than it is right now. That's all I'll say. For being nice, what do you mean? That is a huge step in both of your lives. We might mess with you, but not about that. Thank you, MK. Really do appreciate that. Really do appreciate that. Let's put it this way. He wasn't helping the chart. No, he was not. AXGT was the first money I made on your call. That's what made me stay. Let's go, MK. Let's go. AXGT was crazy work, guys. Like, for anyone who doesn't remember, the market cap right now of this being $29 million, $30 million, having it be down so much. Let's just put this into perspective for everyone, okay? It's been painful. It's down 86% over 291 days. That's not fun, okay? $30 million market cap. The pre-sale that we got into was literally $300,000 in market cap. So we're still up massive. Even the token launch string price was down here at 0.0038. We're all up. If any of you guys got in on that pre-sale, you're all up still massively. But that's besides the point, because the past doesn't necessarily matter. What matters is where it's going and the future. And you can see 2 good buy orders came in during that time period. Now I wish those buy orders would rotate over to our boy Billy over here. I don't know where Bill Nye is on the charts here, but it's because there's not enough trading volume, unfortunately. Tomorrow's live stream is Friday live stream, so we'll be talking about Bill. We'll be going through different updates, and it should be a good one. Hopefully you guys have appreciated this live stream. I definitely appreciate you guys being here with me. I want to look at Psy real quick. Psy up 3%. Psy's another one, criminally undervalued. Criminally undervalued. Gonna be a good one. I gotta do a few catch-up calls with the team here to see what they got cooking right now. But same thing as Axon, kind of. Little different. Let's get that line perfect. How do I do it? There we go. Close enough. Okay, guys. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing it into. I appreciate you guys being here with me. And I will see you all in tomorrow's live stream. Peace.